Hello, everybody. Welcome to Snyder's Inc. Today has not been a good day for me. Not been a good day at all. So I am not in a good mood. I am actually pretty sad. For a lot of different reasons. The main reason is the computer I was going to go get is not something I might be able to do. So now I have to continue doing these. And to be honest, doing videos the way I'm doing them for you right now isn't making me very happy doing them. So I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do in this situation, so I'm just going to go through and just do these videos. Just there, so you have content. That's really it. Um, yeah, so we're gonna do one here. This is 5 more teenage convict freakouts after given life sentences. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the link to the original video will be in the description below. And let's get into it.
So therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual that be found over before General Sessions Court for rape charges.
What's going on, you guys? My name's Ty Knotts, and welcome to Top 5 Unknowns. 5 teenagers' reactions to prison sentences. Number 5. A teenager from Wadsworth was recently sentenced to life in prison after he was convicted of taking the life of a 98-year-old woman who lived next door to him. Gavin Ramsey pleaded guilty and was tried as an adult back in January of 2019. Gavin was just 17 years old at the time and was found guilty of burglary, kidnapping, abuse of a body, and obviously for taking the woman's life. The woman's body was discovered inside of her own home after she'd been reported missing by a relative who lived outside of town. Police and investigators say that Gavin walked into the woman's home as it was left unlocked and took her life by suffocation. He then took her body and placed it in a closet and covered her up with clothing that was found nearby. He then proceeded to take her wallet, leaving her there to be discovered by police several days later. He was quickly linked to the...
What a fucked up human being you are, Gavin. This guy is a messed up human being. I don't like him. So bad. He's sitting there taking a 98-year-old woman and took her life. No reason. Because he's an evil, sick son of a bitch. I have no sympathy for him at all. None. Rotten hell, boy.
The attack, arrested and sent to trial. His case was concluded and he was sentenced in less than a year's time.
Gavin, as a 17-year-old boy, can engage in treatment. He can engage...
No, he can't, because he's a sick SOB, took a life. He didn't do drugs. He didn't rob someone. He didn't do anything. He took a life. No. This guy needs to be sentenced to life. He is a horrible person to have in society.
In programming, the defendant sat stone-faced the entire time, except when his mom spoke.
He's loyal to a fault. He's compassionate. And this thing that we're sitting here discussing is not who my son is. I don't care how much you want to plug out evil facts. That's not my son.
But you did it. Don't care that he's not your son. He did it. And because he did it, he pays the consequences, and he loses his social and freedom in his life because he took that woman's life. I wish they could take his life for a life.
so sorry for what I did. And I constantly live in regret and shame because of it.
Number 4. A teenager from Washington pleaded guilty to taking the life of his friend in July of 2018. Adrian Sawyer was just 16 years old at the time of the attack, which had allegedly escalated after he and a friend had been in an argument. A machete was later
That's a hell of an up thing when you go from arguing with someone to taking their effing life, you weird, sick bastard.
recovered from the crime scene. And the victim's mother later spoke up in court, stating that her 15-year-old son was only a week away from his 16th birthday. The mother pleaded with the jury and judge, requesting that Adrian be locked away for life. The judge reached out to Adrian for a comment, asking if he would like to reply to the mother's pleas. Adrian simply said, "I'm all right." He was then promptly sentenced to 20 years to life in prison.
Look at him. Look at this dude's face. Matter of fact, his face is ugly. This man has an ugly face. I'm just gonna say that. Ugly ass face. You can make a cartoon character off his face. But he has no form of emotion in his face. This man's all is so much evil.
Is not expected to ever make parole. He
Good.
currently resides in a prison cell in New York.
Pleading guilty to murder for killing Maverick Bowman, his friend, who was about to turn 16 years old. The two had been drinking and partying on July 26th at Maverick's grandmother's house in Putnam. When Maverick fell asleep, Adrian grabbed Maverick's phone, took pictures, and then grabbed a machete, stood over his defenseless and unknowing body, and slit his throat. Tried to cover up the crime by dousing the body with lighter fluid and then lighting it.
Number 3. A 17-year-old named Jacob Morgan was arrested after he allegedly set fire to a home while a 14-month-old baby was inside. He was charged with abuse.
Why allegedly? Is it not confirmed he did it? Is there a doubt that he did it?
In addition to the charges against the child's life. He pleaded guilty in court and was given 10 years for unlawful conduct, 15 years for setting the fire, and 5 years for the allegedly unintentional taking of the child's life. According to Jacob's parents, all he ever wanted was a brother, and his parents insisted that the fire was a complete accident. Though regardless of this, the court system disagreed. His mother says that the charges placed against him are utterly tragic, though she says that she knows her son will emerge from prison stronger than he ever was before.
I need to know more on this one. Because I need to know how the fire was set and all that. Like, could it actually have been an accident? Like, if he just poured if he just poured gasoline on all around the place and set the thing on fire, then yeah, But he doesn't look like he'd be someone who's in their right mind. Like, I don't know if he has any medical issues or anything like that. But I don't know if it is possible he actually is unaware of what he actually did when he did it. That's why I need to know more about that fire.
According to his stepfather, none of the family would have attended his court proceedings if they believed that there was any chance that he was guilty. His mother recalled a time when he phoned her at work, sobbing and screaming because one of his newborn kittens was sick and he feared it would die. She said she refused to let any prosecutor or law official look her in the eye and say that her son is capable of taking another person's life, let alone his defenseless child of a brother. Investigators largely seem to have agreed that both the fire and loss of life was a complete mistake, though Jacob was sentenced to prison regardless. He's expected to serve about 20 years before being eligible for early release or parole.
Now set the tape to set a fire in the bedroom where the child is in his crib sleeping. A burn pattern that goes from underneath that child towards the door of the bedroom that is caused by likely something. It's a significant burn pattern as he described it. It could have been alcohol, it could have been something else that gets consumed by the fire. But a significant burn pattern shows that there is something that is significant and intentionally.
Okay, now I'm certain he definitely was not in his right mind because I think it's almost like he's hearing what he did for the first time. Because he had, like, they're saying about how he closed the door or something like that, and he's saying, like, he's like, it's emotional to him because he's like, he probably has no memory of anything he did. I guarantee you he was unaware of what he did.
And at that point, to start a fire in that room, so you to walk away, not trying to extinguish that fire, and immediately starting another fire in the living room. And then it claims an accident that it got out of control. That's an extreme recklessness. That's intent. That's malicious. That's guilty.
The judge does make a good point. If he started a fire that just got out of control, in the end of the day, he started a fire. That is recklessness. And now, I don't know if it's intent to commit murder at all. I don't know if I'd say that, which is what he's trying to say. I don't know if I'd say that. But it's definitely intent to start a fire. Like, that was his goal if that's what happened.
Walk away from the fire that just lit in another room with a small baby. Walk into the front room, light that fire, and then leave the residents standing outside watching it burn. It becomes too much to go back.
Okay, if he did that, then yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, if you... Ooh. Because while he might not know what he was doing really, to sit outside your place and watch your fire burn until you realize it's too much and your brother, like, you can't put it out yourself. Oh, that does deserve punishment still, I would say.
That's malice. And so malice is here on both counts. Is all that murder requires is malice of forethought or fascination required to watch that burn, knowing that that child was in there, was going to die, and not calling 911, not saving that child when he could have, and not having started the fires in the first place.
That's more what the thing is, because the other two, again, he might not actually have realized what he was doing, but he did need to start the fire in the first place. That's why I'm curious what thing. If he just set a fire, because there's a way a fire can go spread on something. Like he might have, if he's not in his right mind, they could have had a fireplace, and the fireplace wasn't done correctly, so the fire kind of sparked out, and that's what caused it. But if he went to the living room just on his own and set a fire, then yeah, it's a problem because he intentionally set a fire.
He has to take responsibility. So there's much more here than probable cause. So that's the court. Find probable cause on both charges in this case.
All right, thanks, Mr. Thompson. The testimony, both sides, question testimony. I believe the state has, in fact, met their burden. So therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual that we found over for general sessions for rape charges.
Number 2. A teenager named John R. Freeman was referred to as a disgusting animal after he took the life of a 5-year-old girl while she was visiting her great-grandparents near Niagara Falls. The boy was sentenced to a total of 22 years, which was the absolute maximum punishment the judge could give. The teen apologized profusely in court, looking directly to the young girl's family. The local district attorney says that she will see to it that he's never paroled and is forced to live out his entire sentence. Prosecutors said that the entire case was rather strange because the young man was extremely calm and collected. Though when he spoke of how he took the young girl's life with his bare hands, his demeanor changed and he grew dark and cold toward them. After taking the girl's life, John woke up one of his friends to tell him what he had done. The friend then tampered with evidence, though it's a bit unclear exactly what this entails. It's assumed that the friend likely helped him try to cover up the crime, though this is just conjecture. The friend then went to police the following day and told them what had happened, though he was still charged and convicted for his involvement, according to police.
That makes sense. I mean, you did still tamper with evidence, so that makes sense. However, I bet you they were more lenient on him because of the fact he did tell them. I guarantee you, here's the thing: he was scared of him. Because, I mean, if a man says he'll take a life of a 5-year-old, he'd probably take the life of you too. But it does make sense he got charged. I bet you just got a way lighter sentence than he probably should have.
John could not tell police what his motive was for taking the girl's life, and authorities say that this is exactly why he's considered to be so highly dangerous, and why he should remain locked up for as long as possible.
Bring Isabella back to me.
Tenant's uncle read a prepared statement in court for Bella's dad, Mike.
I will be in pain for the rest of my life. I didn't get to see Isabella start kindergarten, first grade, high school, teach her how to drive, go to her prom, or get married and have children.
I'm so sorry for all that, family.
I don't like you. I feel a lie coming. You are a liar. You are cold-blooded. You know how I know you're cold-blooded? Because this is fake. This entire attitude is fake. This demeanor is fake. I feel it off of you. I can tell right up you are fake and a liar as all hell.
I'm just sorry.
Number 1. A 14-year-old boy named Antonio Barbeau was convicted of taking the life of his 78-year-old great-grandmother with a hatchet and was seen breaking down in court.
Why do people do that? Take lives of old people? Why take a life in general? Especially when you talk to old people. Let them live. They live the good life. Let them live their lives. I mean, I'm sounding horrible because I sound like I'm just encouraging a life. Like, if you don't take a life, take a younger person's life, which I'm not saying, but like, respect the old people.
During
You're an evil man.
sentencing, he was sentenced to a minimum of 36 years in prison, though officials say that it's unlikely he will ever be released. He won't even be eligible for parole until he's 50. But it's almost certain that he won't be granted parole even when he applies. The young man spoke up in court, attempting to read an apology letter to his family, but couldn't hold back tears. He then passed the letter off to his attorney, though he began sobbing as well. The boy was accompanied by his friend Nathan. The grandmother had allegedly invited the two boys into her home, and when she turned her back, Antonio hit her in the head with a hatchet. He then ran to the bathroom because he wasn't feeling well, and when he came back into the room, his friend had begun attacking the woman as well. His defense argued that he had suffered a traumatic brain injury several years ago, though this defense didn't hold up in court, and the boy was tried as an...
There's probably no proof of it. There's no proof of that. He just walked into a great-grandmother's house and took her life. That was what he did.
adult. The boy's friend was also convicted for the attack and faces 20 years to life.
Fair enough.
According to reports, after taking the woman's life, the two stole her car and abandoned it a short way down the road at a bowling alley. They then walked to a nearby pizza shop and shared a meal before going home.
There's a lot going around said by the news, DA, and many other people that I'm a cold, heartless, careless killer. That's not true.
The prosecutor says the boy stole $150 and used the cash to buy pizza and pot.
Has this crime indeed divided your family?
Yep, sure has. Sure has.
How do you get divided? He killed her. That's not that's what happened. That is proven. That is a fact. It doesn't matter if he did most of the killing or not. He's the first one that struck with the goal to do it. What? How is your family divided? How? Is there a part of your family that actually believes he's innocent? Is that what you mean? Or is there just family that just hate the kid and you're trying to respect, like, still love the kid, even though I don't know how you can?
Big time. As my mother was the matriarch of the family.
Man, them people are messed the F up. Messed the hell up. Wow. That is insane. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Thank y'all for watching. I will see y'all for the next one.